You hear that ripping sound? I love it. I love pulling weeds like that. Really getting at the root and just ripping them out. You want to know why? Because pulling weeds, mowing your yard, using a weed eater is a very violent act, isn't it? Look what I've done. This thing was doing what every single one of us is trying to do. It's just trying to survive. But there's great satisfaction in just pulling up something by the root and hearing it rip out. There's something about getting your lawnmower and leveling everything. The grass is just trying to grow, but you're not having any of it. And you get to come out here and you get to just cut it down. That's what I mean when I say it's a violent act and it's very satisfying. But I enjoy doing it. At the same time, I don't, because it's work. It's work. It's dirty and time consuming. And there are some people that hire people out to do this kind of work for them. And I understand that. Sometimes it can be too much or you don't have enough time. But I say pulling weeds, mowing your yard is actually quite therapeutic. I mean, because what weeds do is they invade and they take over if you let them go. And if you're not careful, it'll just completely destroy any kind of beauty that you had envisioned for it. And you need to come along, you need to take care of things. I think the reason why I enjoy doing it so much is because maybe there are things in my life I don't feel like I have a grasp on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's too much in life to be able to control everything. I don't have enough tentacles to be able to reach everything there is to be taken care of. I mean, I can try, but once I think I have a hold of one thing, another thing escapes me. And so when I come out here and I mow the grass, and when I get done, I look at it and it looks nice, except for the excess grass that's laying on the ground, which I get bugged about. But you know what I mean. It's just you get to change things. You get to affect a change, and you get to make things prettier and more livable. And so it's good for me to come out here. And to be honest with you, I kind of hate doing it at the same time, because when I'm mowing my yard, that's when I have more negative thoughts run through my mind. Any kind of bitterness, resentment, and contempt, any kind of thoughts like that, that's when they run through my mind. And I wonder why. Why is it this particular act conjures up these feelings and these thoughts? Because I think mowing your grass and pulling the weeds is symbolic of what you need to do. You have things in your life that have invaded, and you've let them go. They're overgrown, and they're strangling out all the good things. They're strangling life out of all the good things that you do have, because you just don't feel like taking care of it. But you need to get out there and you need to pull things up by the root and get rid of them. And it's kind of hard to do, and you may not be able to do it with everything. But you can do it with your weeds, you can do it with your grass. So I'm telling you, if you don't feel like you have control of things in your life, maybe you just need to go out and pull some weeds. Maybe you just need to go out and mow your grass. Weeds represent the enemy. The overgrown grass represents excess. It's a good thing, but there could be too much of it. shearing, pruning represents making way for new growth. And that's what we need to do. It's a violent act. You're cutting into something. You're lopping things off. You're pulling things out. And it's a violent act. It is to the things that you're dealing with, that you have your hands on. It's very violent to them. But here's the thing. It's either you or them. You've got to choose. Life is a whole long series of making choices. But I thought about this last night when I came home and I mowed the yard, and that big weed that you saw me pull at the beginning, somehow I overlooked that. I completely overlooked it. I thought, I got to get out there this morning and pull that up. That's what you have to do. So think about that. Think about that today, and ask yourself, what do I have? Who is the enemy, or what is the enemy, and what can I do to deal with that? How do I find the root, and how do I pull it out? What do I have too much of? What do I have in my life that represents excess, that actually presents more harm to me, or holds me back from greater potential? Mow it down, raise it, level it off. Get the weed eater out if you have to. And here's the thing. The reason why some people hire some of these companies to mow their grass and to take care of the yard is because it's too much for them. Maybe you have too much in your life for you to handle by yourself, and that's okay. These companies represent mentors, therapists, doctors, friends, anybody that can come along and help you because it's too much for you. Give that some thought. Ruminate on that for a while. Because I certainly have, and I certainly do when I mow the grass. I don't like the stuff that runs through my head, but for some reason I'm thinking it needs to come out. So for about an hour a week, probably I ought to do it more than that, but for about an hour a week I come out here and I deal with those things. I don't know if I feel better when I'm done, but I know it's probably better that I face those things head on, thought about them, give myself a chance to think about them. I'm hoping you do that today. Start pulling some weeds. Listen to them rip out of the ground, because there's something about it that feels so good. Carl Menninger, an American psychiatrist, said that there's very little difference. There's such a little difference, a fine line between those who are mentally ill and those who are not. And it's important for us to work out our aggressions. It's very important for us to work them out. It's why we need sports. We need to either participate in them or watch them, but we get aggressive either way. We need to pick up a paintbrush. We need to write poetry. We need to talk to people. We need to get out and exercise. We need to do something with our aggression. The people who are the most miserable are the ones who never get out and pull the weeds. The ones who never do anything to confront all the inner anguish. Menninger said that most of the trauma that anybody faces in life happens in childhood, and we just deal with the excess in adulthood, and a lot of times we just don't know how to do it. But he said that you have to exercise your aggression, and everybody has it. Remember, there's a fine line between the mentally ill and those who are not, between sanity and insanity. Such a fine line, because it is a spectrum. And to be honest with you, there have been times when I've wondered if I'm the insane one. On any given day, if you ask me, depending on what my mood is, I might tell you that everybody else is. But there are days when I really question whether I am or not. What helps me deal with that is just leveling everything off, taking control. That's part of what mowing the lawn pulling the weeds does. It represents taking back control. So I hope that's helped. I hope it's meant something. I hope it's, it's just a thought I had. I'd share it with you guys. Tell me what you think. Do you share the same ideas? Do you feel the same way? Have you ever thought the same thing when you're out there dealing with your lawn? Because I'll bet you that you have. I'd be interested in knowing. All right. Listen, if you're wondering what I have in my beard today, 3-wood beard oil by Artius Man. I also put in some of their 3-wood beard butter. Look down in the description below. It'll save you some money on that if you're interested. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. I've got to get ready for work, and that's another thing that's good for you. Working with your hands. But I've said enough about that. Guys, I'll catch you in the next one. I hope you have a great day. I hope you get out and do something for yourself. Exercise your aggression. You need to. Everybody does. Have a great day. Bye-bye.